Welcome to the two.
Sandals and shorts, and surf, and scuba, and sand, and sailing, and soccer. San Diego, California.
There it is. There it is. Season's greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic, episode 248. Our Halloween episode, not completely deranged from our usual beings, but here we are back on a Monday, sending up with the football ready to go with another episode. We're going to start with goals, gaffes, and greats. Got some good greats here. International play, Carusa, the San Diego Wave, making it on here, as well as a beautiful, beautiful scissor kick. We'll talk about our gaff, MLS related. Speaking of MLS, we're going to go ahead and talk about rumors. It came back up. Kevin De Bruyne linked to San Diego FC and the MLS after months of negotiations already. We'll kind of let you in on some of what we've heard on that back end with Kevin De Bruyne and the Belgian superstar potentially joining San Diego. Then we're going to go ahead and also dive into San Diego Wave's final match of the season on ESPN. Doesn't really matter, but it's an emotional day altogether. The final game at Snapdragon this Sunday. Will Taylor Flint score? It's a revenge game. International games. USA, Mexico, Jaden Shaw, the youngsters for San Diego Wave as well. We're also going to go ahead and speak to a fantastic individual of the community that's going to talk about a great cause for veterans here, a soccer tournament, so we can get some people out, get some exercise, get involved with the beautiful game in San Diego as well. So that's going to be El Zarape de San Diego coming in here a little bit later. Season's greetings to everybody. Felices fiestas. Season's greetings.
What's up, everyone?
This is a group effort. Doing what we do best. Bringing coverage of soccer in San Diego. Sometimes it takes a toll. It takes a toll. And you know what? At the end of the day, you gotta let some steam out. And I'm very pleased to have some steam let out by our great esteemed Abe. I'm bringing you on early for
What's up,
goals,
Abe?
gaffes, and greats, but season's greetings to everybody in the chat. Felices fiestas. Hope everybody's having a great time. It's gonna be a fun day, fun week. Got some SDFC stuff to get into before, but let's go ahead and get this game started. This episode started with goals. Abe, how are you? Sorry, you just haven't said anything.
I'm doing good. I'm having an all right time. Was a little sick. Be careful with the sicknesses out there, guys. You never know.
Yeah, so sick of love songs, so tired of tears, so done with wishes that Abe was still here. Abe, you got again the Abe fan club. Yes, he's wearing a ref jersey. Absolutely. I guess clearly just the elephant, or in this case the aquatic animal in the room, a shark.
Soy un tiburón. Luchador.
All right.
Oh.
In honor of I mean, yours is soccer related, right? Abe, you're a referee. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You
Mine's
ready to
soccer
go?
related.
Yours is soccer. Okay.
Yeah.
Please explain.
San Diego Wave. I'm a shark. Part of the Cove.
Oh, so you're cosplaying as a member of the Sirens in the Cove. I like that.
I'm just a shark.
I like that. I mean, mine should be pretty obvious. With the celebrations of spookiness of Halloween and this fall festivity harvest day time, I decided to go a little bit classy, a little bit spooky, and I'm a dead club. I'm a dead soccer club. Ooh.
Es un fantasma.
I feel bad now.
All right, guys, we're gonna go.
All right, let's go
dive
again.
in with-
Goals, gaffes, and greats. Do you have it
Yeah.
loaded up, Chico? Do I have to press it? You're gonna press it.
I
You
do.
got it. All right.
I'm
Goals,
pressing,
gaffes,
I'm pressing,
and
I'm
greats. Season's greetings. We're
Oh,
back.
Tony, that was
Hey,
fast.
good night. That was actually incredibly fast. We're going to start with the goal of the week when Abe's just
We have
having the
two.
time of. Oh, we do have two, so we do have two
Yep.
available. First goal is going to be este de Chilena. Let's go with the Chilena one. Chiva, can you give us some background on what's going on here?
Yeah, this is Evan Rotundo playing in the Luxembourg division.
Mm-hmm.
20 years old from San Diego, California, gets this goal to put his team in the lead early in the second half. Una chilenita, como le digas. Una tijerita tipo fuera del área. Golazo, güey. Golazo.
Love that. That's incredible technique, and I love it when it's you set yourself up for success on that one. Have you ever scored a tijerita?
No.
Have you ever landed one
No.
like clean? No.
No.
Abe,
Way. I
have
used
you
to
ever?
weigh almost 400 pounds.
Yes.
I
Okay.
think I technically have done it to my but not in an actual game or anything. Just when you're practicing with your friends by yourself.
I love that. Then we do have another goal here, courtesy of San Diego Waves' own Irish international and also a local, Kira Carusa, coming in here with. Well, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, ya está, candidato. This is it.
O'Sullivan would set up for Larkin. Oh,
Golazo.
chucks it at the near post.
Golazo.
Kira Carusa.
Why can you do that with Wave, though?
She was injured.
There, I'm not so sure.
Very true.
No, absolutely.
Golazo.
Yeah, I mean, a back heel finish right there, just a nose for goal in between, a great pass in between two defenders, and just knowing that just a slight flick is going to be enough. And those are hard to do, but to get a nutmeg,
in between.
to get a
Damn.
nutmeg
What a goal.
as well. That is the goal of
San Diego's
the
full
week.
of talent.
Absolutely. Now we're going to go ahead and get into what we would call right here, as if you're new here, goals, gaps, and greats. We got to highlight some goals. And as well, we got to do our due diligence in a way, because last week and the week prior, actually we heard from some greats from the local San Diego scene. Here locally, as we spoke, there's an action in the U.S. Open Cup, the Lamar Hunt Open Cup, the longest running tournament, soccer tournament in the world. Abe, I believe that is factual.
That is true.
That is correct. But with that, we want to just go ahead and highlight our pals and friends who were here last week with San Diego Internacional, Cesti Inter, and the UPSL side over at Mission Bay High School, getting in on some action here. And so essentially, and this is why this is so cool. And SD Internacional are the greats of this week, because they're putting San Diego's name on their back and putting up a performance against City SC San Diego, which is a team here locally that an established just community, much like Surf, more in the northern part of San Diego. There's City SC Temecula in that same UPSL league. So again, just kind of talking locally, right? Like this is the scene of people who go to Southwestern College, go to City College, go to different good level soccer teams, and some have come through 1904, come through Albion, like Jordan Chavez, who was part of San Diego Loyal, then went to Fresno, came here to play with Eastlake, won a championship, and now he's back up in Orange County. So like this level of play is decent here. So SD Internacional, we do commentary for them. We have been doing it for the last 4 years, and making it through to the next round over in what is again the longest running tournament, soccer tournament in the world. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. I mean, we had Branson saying, right, that he's taking part in these matches before with other clubs, so just he knows the experience of what it's like to play in this type of game. So I mean, shout out San Diego Inter, just putting San Diego on their backs.
San Diego Internacional, your girlfriend and possibly boyfriend, or just your cats, dogs. That should be their new slogan. Like, it's your dog's favorite team. It's your dog's favorite soccer team. Like, you can't deny that. Winning this in great fashion here, 2-1. So shout out to SD Internacional. And this is going to be my call. What's going on there? You all right? All right. Oh yeah, you wear glasses underneath those. Yeah. All right. Abe is staying strong.
he is.
He's
so
not
hard. I can like my nose is like
so hard.
in
Here,
pain right
we'll give you an out.
Thanks.
Hello, we're back here. Wichiba. Hello. In
This is
any
the
case,
worst episode we've done in a while.
no, it's fine.
I love it.
It is what it is, and again, this is why people come and tune in with.
I'm still a shark.
You're still a shark, absolutely. I need to bring back Abraham Cepeda there. All right. So as we were saying, the greats of the week, we also want to give a highlight and shout out to Kimi Ascanio and Melanie Barcenas, who are representing in the U.S. World Cup, the under 17 World Cup, under 17 World Cup.
Yep.
And they're doing very well. Both of them have bagged important goals and important appearances overall. And this new wave and generation of talent for the U.S. Women's National Team is flourishing, and it's happening here in San Diego with Kimi Ascanio and Melanie Barcenas. Abe, have you been paying any attention to what's going on that side?
Yeah, I've caught bits of some games, obviously seen lots of highlights, but I have tried to watch more of these games. It's crazy to watch like the difference of them in the NWSL versus them with people that are actually their age. Because like Kimi Ascanio looks huge, like so fast, dominating players. And then when she's in the NWSL, it's like these are grown adults. It's crazy to watch the difference, and they're really talented, and I think they're only going to keep getting better.
Yeah,
no, I mean, it's just great to see the young talent, right? Putting a performance in front of the world. I mean, it is the under 17 World Cup. We've seen it on the men's side where some of the young talent that wins the under 17 World Cup ends up making a name for themselves too, right? So it's just kind of like starting that potential. And both of these players play for San Diego Wave. They're playing against players that are probably still in high school in other countries, and they're playing at a professional level. So it's great to see that level of talent is being represented and just implemented in the World Cup.
Absolutely. So that's going to be our greats of the week, which leads us to our gaff of the week. So El Oso, as this was once prominently called on a different show where Mexico, essentially a gaff, a blemish, some would say, just something kind of to interesting and we had some discussions as far as what it could be potentially, just anywhere from, I mean, Guli Peña's performance yesterday in the U.S. Versus Mexico indoor event over on Front Wave Arena. I did commentary yesterday with Craig Elliston in the brand new booth in the brand new arena. I'll tell you this much: it looks great.
Oh, cool.
That's it.
That's it.
Such a.
We're gonna dive.
No. I mean, the arena looks great. Like, I mean, that was something I did yesterday. I saw the new arena. It's a new arena,
and we're gonna dive a little bit more.
I mean, we
into
can, we can,
but I mean, I think the gaff just goes to
45
like the stars of the Mexican national team that were promoted: Guli Peña, Miguel Ponce, Maza Rodriguez, not having the best performance.
But even then, as I was putting on, and might I say, I was accosted with positivity recently here with a recent post of mine. Just the amount of traction it got was kind of uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. Fear not aware.
You're the biggest attention. Promoting his own IG post, Dave. Look at this guy.
This is insane.
Anyway, so as I was changing it's just giving context. This is all this is. I'm giving context. So when I was changing into this, Abe, I was looking over to a TV because Front Wave Arena, which looks spectacular, had TVs around and they had the MLS going, and it was LAFC having themselves a nice little match. And I look into the little corner and I'm like, that's right. This is a best out of 3 matches in the playoffs for the MLS. And so talking about goals, gaffes, and greats, we want to talk about a gaff and like what? Why? The MLS playoff structure. We're going to be very much in the know here in San Diego with that, or maybe not. Maybe San Diego FC won't even have to worry about the playoff structure. I mean, to be completely honest, right? Who knows? It's a giant question mark. But for right now, they have a structure where they have a best out of 3 games in the first round of the playoffs. And then you're like, okay, cool. I get it. More games, more fun. Cool. Next round, same thing. And then nope, it's just Abe. As I'm gonna take myself out of here. That was the context. Again, I was changing and I saw this and it said on TV, best out of 3.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's up with that. I mean, MLS is used to American sports are just in general used to having best out of how many games in series, right? And I think the MLS is just following in that format. But you want to keep soccer and football just like relevant with everyone. Just do a away and home and away. That's usually pretty common, or just a one and out. But I don't know what you guys think.
So I mean, what is it, Abe? Do you? Yeah.
I would prefer one and out. I love the 2-game aggregate. I think that's probably the best option, but better than best of 3 would just be 1-game playoff because it is playoffs. Like, might as well just put it all on the line. But 3 matches, a best of 3 is insane. The first game, whoever takes like a first lead, the other team kind of just gives up usually, which just makes it very boring, just not appealing to watch. And then to think about like the travel of it all too. You're in the United States in October, early November. There's always going to be some weird weather stuff happening. You're going to have crazy travel, 3 games in a week. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah, and so again, the lack of consistency too, and what the format is throughout the actual playoffs is what gets me, right? Like, again, if you're doing a best out of 3 series and you're going to commit to that, you know what? We're America. We do soccer this way. We like series, more soccer, more money, right? Okay. But then as you get closer to the championship game, and then it suddenly turns into a one and out, like the final, like la final is a single elimination game, right? Like, and if that's the case, then why give us more of the worst part of the tournament and the playoffs, like 3 games of the worst teams supposedly? Like, no, we want to see high action. Like, you're just drawing this out. There are talks out there of MLS wanting to change into the spring format and the spring calendar and kind of adapt into the rest of the world. That could be an interesting kind of take where, maybe they're kind of saying, hey, we can be soccer and this cool little different thing, but it doesn't mean we have to necessarily overhaul just the one thing they control. Is like, playoff format. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Open Cup tournaments. Yeah, who needs that? Lower division teams.
There is an issue with trying to become like more European following that calendar. Like, do you remember Nate Miller's first game in Utah this year?
Mm-hmm.
They played in the snow.
Yeah.
That was like what, March?
Yes.
February? Like, are we going to be playing in January soccer? That would be insane.
I mean, and that's again how other sports do it too, right? Like, it's big, it's marketed in a way that's like, hey, the NBA, who's playing on Christmas Day? That's always a big thing, right? Like, going into November football, right? Like Thanksgiving, that's huge. And I think it gives opportunity for more marketing in that sense, where again, MLS can take advantage of that, a longer, different sort of format and style. If you want to grow with, internationally speaking, with a U.S. men's national team, and again, how would this affect, if anything, other leagues also adopting that same format as well? With the NWSL follow? Will the NWSL just, they still need to work on their international scheduling and just in general overall with the size, as you're mentioning, Abe, of this country. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy to travel. We don't have supersonic bullet trains like other countries do that can potentially solve some of that. But bullet trains actually scare me. So I'm glad we don't have that here. You
I would love a bullet train.
I would love a bullet train, but if that's my way to go, then
I mean, what's the difference between getting hit by a car going 50 miles an hour in a bullet train? Like, either way, you're gonna explode on impact, right?
I'll tell you the difference, Abe. I can get out of the way from a 50-mile-an-hour car.
I've gotten hit by a 60-mile-per-hour car.
Really?
Yeah. How was that?
I was just in a car crash.
You were in the car.
Where? What? When was this?
That's different.
5 months ago.
I hope you're okay.
If it were up to me, we take away everyone's cars. There's trains everywhere. We all have bikes. It'd be amazing.
I sold mine before my car crash.
I see over here, cheers from La Barra 18 from Josue. I would understand the logic for a shortcut format, but regular season doesn't make sense. I mean, that's something to consider as well. Like if MLS kind of is in this space and it's a unique in that way, and there's also advantages to that, right? Like loan spells when some teams are off. I mean, going back and thinking of like the opportunity for Thierry Henry to be loaned back to Arsenal. This is again early MLS, where this did happen, and that presents itself with this sort of scheduling and whatnot. But either way, this playoff format, we're going to follow it as we go, and then get that restart as December rolls around for San Diego FC, SDFC, and obviously with the draft and the expansion draft combine as well being held here in San Diego. We were actually the first to report that a couple of months ago that it was going to be here held in San Diego at Snapdragon Stadium. That's still per our sources. But time's a ticking, guys. And so with that, I think it's a good time to give a little shift. You're cool. You're cool. You got the stamina. You should probably eat that Starburst for that energy. I'm condoning it right now. I'm calling you out, Abe. It is the Halloween episode. We got Francisco who's joining. He says, "Cheers, guys." Had a fantastic costume of an old
loved his
Tiger
Halloween
reporter.
costume. It was cool.
He committed to the little mustache.
Yeah.
And overall, you know what? Cheers for that. And the camera. But get yourself cozy because we're gonna go ahead and dive into some San Diego FC. San Diego FC is coming in the next couple of months already. People are
the fact that we're
feeling the
still
same.
talking about Kevin De
Feeling the
Bruyne,
same.
man.
Doing the same. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily still talking about Kevin De Bruyne, right? Like it's a move that
I don't
can
think that
potentially
happened.
be coming down here in San Diego. It's being reported that Kevin De Bruyne, the Belgian superstar from Manchester City, has been in negotiations. We've talked about this on this show a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
How it went down. That San Diego FC was approached by the Kevin De Bruyne team about the possibility of this happening. And again, this was very early in terms of I'm talking when San Diego FC and the Cholos were announcing their deals and kind of how that went down around that time frame, where Kevin De Bruyne that was thrown around, but something that was they kind of let us know through the various sources was that like he was asking, their team was asking for a salary close to what Lionel Messi was getting. And so in that, right, you kind of understand where it's a difficult spot to be in if you're San Diego FC or just any team here in the MLS. You have the opportunity to get one of the greatest midfielders of the modern era in Kevin De Bruyne. He's an instant captain on that field. He gets to be that just that talented DP that's going to be the center and the focal point of the team. Yeah, you have the people. You got lack of a better term, although some people might dissent. You got La Raza locked down with Irving Lozano, Chucky Lozano, and then on the field and with everybody else, I think Kevin De Bruyne is one of those names where you can definitely look toward and say, okay, we're doing something interesting here in this venue, San Diego. Like Kevin De Bruyne, as talent just like no other. Still, I think would be more impactful almost than say a Lionel Messi here in the MLS.
If this were to happen, you had a really big event for Chucky Mania.
Yeah, you did.
And if you were to sign Kevin De Bruyne, you need to come up with an event that's even bigger than Chucky Mania. I'm thinking you rent out Snapdragon, you invite fans over to fill up the stadium and do a presentation with Kevin De Bruyne, kind of like how they do in Europe.
Mhm.
I think that's something that you would want to do, right? If you do sign Kevin De Bruyne. $20 million salary is what he was asking, I believe, says Esteban Toscano.
Yeah, that is correct. And
that's correct.
that is per what's about Tim Bogut's reporting and GiveMeSport.com.
No, I think they actually denied that.
They had the redaction, not redaction. Yes, Abe.
But I don't Even if he were to come to San Diego FC, he's still technically with Manchester through the summer. I
Mhm.
doubt this deal would come to fruition until, I mean, San Diego already playing games. Like that, Manchester City needs Kevin De Bruyne right now. I doubt that he joins San Diego FC this soon.
I mean, again, like the consideration is there on the table for his team because there is negotiation. There is actually, active negotiations with the Saudi Arabian team, and so while yeah, like that's true that Manchester City needs it right now. If you don't strike now when you can, if you're San Diego FC, you could potentially miss out, and then he goes to Saudi Arabia anyways, because Manchester City was going to do the deal anyways. Um, but other than that, like, look, you run that risk with Chucky Lozano doing what he's doing over in PSV. He did get injured actually a couple of months ago. And that's the worst case scenario if you're SDFC.
Que te lo quiebren.
Yeah, no, that's not what you want to see, right? And so you run that risk regardless. Kevin De Bruyne is going to be playing in Man City at a high level, or he, kind of gets protected a little bit. But if you're Pep Guardiola, you're going to squeeze the last out of the juice of KDB that
Did
you
KDB already retire from Belgium? I believe so, right?
have.
Did
Yes.
he announced his retirement from Belgium?
Yes, I believe so. His family prefers MLS over Saudi, and that's the key here, because when originally Kevin De Bruyne and SDFC were in talks, this was just kind of like a hey, like this is out here. This is also at around the same time where there were some meetings potentially with Marco Royce's team because he was making a decision over just in this general area. He was being inquired about. There was some talks, like conversations were had. But now again, I mean, you know it, Abe. You know it, Chiba. Some of our audience knows it. Once a significant other says, "Hey, Saudi Arabia, San Diego's pretty cool. I mean, where would I want to raise a family?" I think there's a clear, distinct winner here, and that's what some of the reports are saying. As Esteban is, yeah, exactly, and I do believe the wife of KDB was saying like, "Hey, I prefer San Diego over Saudi Arabia." I can see why. Just heard that the Clippers D-League team is coming back, and just said, you know what, this is where I want to raise our children to be Clippers fans. Abe?
Front Row Arena. I mean, it's a really nice stadium, said Tony Sanchez, right?
It's beautiful. No, it's gorgeous. I tell you, it's gorgeous. And no netting. So any balls that miss go directly lasered into the audience.
That is terrifying.
And 100%. And then in warm-ups, a laser just into one of the ribbon screens and just popped it off. So repair job at Front Wave Arena incoming already. But
Oh wow.
Kevin De Bruyne to SDFC. That's as much as it is right now. It's conversations. Whether or not something will actually come through here, I think is a little bit more likely now than it was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It's more likely now. Whatever percentage you want to take out of that is just the reality of this right now. I do understand that SDFC, while they would want another huge signing, could be rather content with what they have in Chucky Lozano already, and then now literally just wait for the expansion draft, the combine, which would yield a couple of players here and there. But ultimately, yeah, you're just going to flesh out what you have here. And it'll be what Mike Ibarra says, a team that's going to fight for San Diego and a team that has passion. Like he's scouting based on players, based on what he's been saying to supporters around and various outlets. Like this is what you can expect from San Diego FC, is a team that's going to fight for the city. It's a team that's going to give it its all. I would hope so. I would hope so at the very minimum that happens. But it'd be interesting if Kevin De Bruyne is one of those players. Anything else on KDB or any of these rumors, or do you hope this happens? Like,
I mean,
obviously it'd be big. Like,
yeah, it'd be big.
if everything goes right, we'd be
that's-
talking to KDB.
I just feel like it would go against everything San Diego FC kind of saying they're going to be about, right? I mean, you still need that experienced player and that like marquee player to start out, and then eventually in a couple years you get a star maybe from Right to Dream. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It would be cool. I think it would be a good move, but it does go a little against based of I guess what they want to change in the MLS, right? They're talking about we're going to change the game in the MLS, how MLS views academies and all this, but then you're still going and doing the same thing by signing a 34-year-old that's not going to cut it in the top leagues anymore.
But at 34, again, you gotta cut those expectations. He may not cut it in Europe, but I'll guarantee you right now, Kevin De Bruyne steps
100%.
foot,
100%,
steps
100%.
foot.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying he wouldn't.
Here, like it's going to be child's play.
Yeah.
And it's a different situation, I think, too, with like other stars when like Bastian Schweinsteiger joined Chicago Fire, right? Like, first of all, Bastian Schweinsteiger isn't a dynamic player to begin with. He was a very static tronco, just an anchor of a team, and not in a good way, a rusty anchor. And yeah, he had qualities, but he wasn't necessarily spectacular. Didn't yield that beautiful, attractive kind of games. Now we're talking about somebody like Suarez, who's just having a good old time with Messi. That's a different level. That's a different level of understanding, and it's almost like a 2-for-1. I guarantee you, if Messi wasn't in Inter Miami, you wouldn't see Suarez in Inter Miami because Messi and Suarez just speak a different language and comfortability. They're having a grand time over there, but you're going to have to compete with what SDFC and LAFC has. Again, the first ever San Diego FC game has been announced against LA Galaxy. That is going to be away over at Dignity Health Sports Park. Very interesting that this SDFC plays in a football field, in a football stadium, while the Chargers once played in a soccer stadium of Dignity Health Sports Park, where they went to die. And now San Diego FC will begin their history in a proper soccer stadium, designed soccer stadium, in a college campus over at Dominguez Hills. Again, prove me wrong. It's the reality of things. And as that little countdown goes down, like, no, that's true. Like, it's a couple of months from here. Also, in terms of SDFC, last week we had mentioned about just kind of some happenings around the club and the supporters. They're being promoted on social media and vice versa. I haven't received an update, but we'll get back into that. If you want to watch their outlets as well and their information, you can go ahead and do that. But overall, KDB, here we go, 2025. I think Esteban is putting in his allowance.
Yeah, I think Esteban.
He'll help Mr. Mansour and the Saquon family, Abe.
I think it would be cool. Obviously, he's a great player, but I don't think it's going to happen. There's too much of a connection to the Saudi league, and like he expected, it seems like, to get that kind of Messi money or Messi deal.
Yeah.
He got a piece of Apple, the Apple TV deal. Like, Messi is making so much more than what it says on the transfer fee and stuff like that, and Kevin De Bruyne would not make that much. So, and he said at the same time that you kind of have to consider Saudi because of just how much life-changing money that can be.
Yeah.
So I think he ends up in a Saudi team.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, we've seen weirder things happen before.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, everyone, it was a shock when Messi ended up even making the move too. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does make the move to MLS. If it's San Diego FC, cool. We'll see what that means for San Diego, but they have a game coming up, and then they're going to have their first home game as well against St. Louis, I believe, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be against St. Louis here in San Diego at Snapdragon Stadium. That's March 1st. So SDFC and the MLS officially kick off in San Diego on March 1st. Again, the question is why wouldn't you just have the biggest event and have them be the home side? No, because you can have two big events. One inaugural first ever match up there. First ever home match.
Home MLS match.
Home MLS match.
Cholos.
True.
Because they will play against Cholos. You're right, Abe. And it's going to be interesting to see how La Masacre comes out. And you guys, I mean, I know like it's a very slight here pivot, but it actually came across through my partner's thread, which I don't know if this has happened with you, but their algorithm is now soccer stuff periodically here and there. If you guys are doing your job correctly, gentlemen, no,
No.
no, Abe,
Leave the work at work. You
100%.
oh,
I have other interests.
hold on,
Okay,
yeah.
I have other hobbies, Tony. Soccer doesn't completely define Chiva and I.
Yeah, Tony.
I have yet to see evidence of the contrary.
Sorry, we didn't sell out.
You say I sold out because I was able to utilize my personal position as leverage in order to.
It's also the same reason our full-time jobs wanted to get us in trouble.
Yeah,
when I first started
one
this,
seven
so-
upon a time.
Yeah.
In any case, people are excited. Like that name on its own, like stirred the most hype that I've seen for SDFC in a while, and that was just talk. And like this is what happens when like people are asking around this. Like again, this is my control base friend group, like the friend inner
Yeah.
circle type thing, like lifers. When they start asking me, like, "Hey, so Kevin De Bruyne, so what's going on?" Like, "Oh, okay." Like, one of my friends, the Olympique Lyonnais fan, like he was like, "Hey," because by the way, I went to play soccer for the first time on Saturday.
Wow, how'd you do?
Sunday. I have no conditioning, so yep, I'm fast. I'm great. I'm lightning quick, but no conditioning whatsoever. But yeah, he was like, "Hey, sorry, I was late, man. I was watching the Lyon game." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like he must be in the know for like MLS stuff. Like, "Hey, are you excited for MLS?" Like, I was like, no clue. No, like he's like, "I heard they got Chucky, but I don't know the other players." I'm like, "Well, most
most people
we're
don't.
kind of similar boats there." But again, like there's 3.5 months left for this kickoff. As you're mentioning, a Cholos game that's going to be smushed in between in there, a draft, an expansion draft. Some of these players are going to meet each other for the first time ever on the first day of training camp because MLS does dictate that everybody has the same timetable, same time frame to begin. They can't say like, "Oh, you're contracted. Hey, Patty, like." That's why they have to be in another team, right? Hey, Patty, come over here and chill at Taquan or play at Eastlake Soccer League. And
I mean, you also have to kind of worry a little bit because Patty McNair, I believe he's only started like one game this whole season with West Bromwich. And then like the only ones really getting consistent minutes is like in Barkston and Yepe, right? I mean, Durant started a game for FC Northland recently and I believe they lost in penalties. He allowed 10 or 11 penalties in.
I mean, look, hey, man.
But again, I do think it's more
it's
for the
unfair.
experience of the training aspect of it and being over there. That does help out more if he's already doing that with OC in the USL Championship. So I do think it's still better to have Durant over there. But I mean, you also want your players to come in the best form possible to start the season, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Chucky got hurt, so I mean. What's the form that these players are going to come in?
I mean, I think the team even forgot. I mean, I get the reality that Durant Free is probably more likely not going to be that big marquee player. They're going to put on all your flyers, right? But I would think with the promotion of it, like the fact that there's only 5, aesthetically speaking, put Chucky in the middle and flank him with 2 people. But from this picture, there's a player missing, again, Durant Free. Like I understand that, right? But where's Alex Mighton? Who? Yeah, no, that's right. They have another player, a winger that was signed. And again, not getting any promotion anywhere. Just kind of the reality of like, all right, we'll see who we have. And hopefully there's an intention with this, right? Yes, under 19. It wasn't yeah, I told you guys last week, and you guys were like, "No, it wasn't." I know my stuff. The under 19.
When did he tell us, Abe?
No, you didn't tell us.
Maybe
you told Chiva. I didn't hear anything.
Oh yeah, I told Chiva. Yeah, no, 100%. You're right, Abe.
I have the
you're
receipts.
absolutely right. Oh, you have the receipts? Yeah,
I'll pull up
little shark fin receipts.
Yep, I'll pull up my receipts.
That costume needs to go home today. Chiva, it's been here for a year.
Yeah, it's going.
Please take it home today.
Yeah, 'cause I'm
Jesus.
walking around Halloween night with it on.
All right.
What are you guys' plans for Halloween? You guys love Halloween?
Walk around the neighborhood in Chula Vista, looking at houses, then going down to Third Avenue
just looking at
to
houses.
the Balboa to have burgers.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, and then walking back home and calling it a night. Trick or treating a little bit. Last year, we were walking in a house, gave us some ice cream,
Ooh.
so that was fun. What about you, Tony?
I'm closing the blinds, shutting the doors, turning off the
Oh,
lights.
My gosh, you're the greatest.
Having myself a great time. Okay, this is a judgment thing. As a Kevin De Bruyne to SDFC, fantastic. I love it. To keep the conversation going. People are having conversating about this. It's a point of topic around town. I came across a box of unopened Pokemon cards that are specifically Halloween. Like it's actually pretty cool. It's a 3-pack of cards. Like, hey, here you go, trick or treat, you get a card. That's pretty sick. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna keep them, but I'm gonna donate them to a family who likes Pokemon. Right? I think that's the best case scenario here, right? Not opening it individually one by one. What if kids don't come over? What if I'm stuck with 150 Pokemon packs?
My God.
Sorry.
You suck, dude. You're fucking definitely keeping those Pokemon cards. You suck.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
What do we
the
think,
first
Pat?
kid
What
that
do we
you
think,
see,
Pat? Is he keeping the Pokemon card? No, I don't know why I said that, but
you should whatever the first kid that's wearing a Pokemon costume, just give them all the cards.
oh, that'd be great.
I'm
You
not.
made that kid.
Okay, great. I'm not seeing any kids that day. I'm actively avoiding children that
Isn't
day.
this your first Halloween in Lakeside?
Well, first of all, doxed. Second off, yes. And from what I'll tell you right now, the community where I reside, is one of those where, like, you know how they used to tell you, like, hey, you got to check every candy bar because there's blades in it, or like some like razor, whatever, like syringes and stuff. I kind of believe that over there. Like,
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
all right, that's fine. It's an interesting place. Part of San Diego, unincorporated part of San Diego, actually. But you know what?
Hey,
I'm
what are you doing for Halloween?
3 blocks away from a new Dutch Bros.
I don't know. I might scare some little kids or something.
Pues sí, güey, con esa pinche cara, como no, güey.
No, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna hand out candy here at my house.
Oh,
I like that. No, it's
good Samaritan, Abe. Good Samaritan. They don't really pass by where I live for trick or treating. Kind of like a dark street, so I don't think parents want to go down that street with their kids. So it makes sense.
what's your favorite costume? As we're gonna go ahead and have a guest join us here. Senor Trevor Flores is about to go ahead and
Favorite costume that I've worn?
Yeah.
I gotta say I was Alan from The Hangover one Halloween. That one
Mhm.
was really good.
Okay.
And then me and my friend, we were Merman and Barnacle Boy. I was Merman.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay. Yes. It's okay. I moved to East County. Welcome. Moving closer to SDFC training grounds. Smart. Actually, I Google mapped it. I am 13 minutes away. So SDFC, you are not gonna be able to get away from me.
Wow.
So hopefully
that's dedication.
that's dedication, guys. I'm here for the long run. I'm here, guys. San Diego. I mean, again, we're se queda. We're part of the fabric, woven into the existing fabric of San Diego soccer, the fabric that's been here before any soccer entity. But no, I'm 13 minutes away, and it's going to be a great time. But I am like a child of divorce. As you can see, I'm not in Lakeside here. So I have a dog that lives here. Her name is Xena. She's been featured on the program.
Yeah.
This is her home. I am the caretaker. So
I am
like
humbled to be in.
I have
Xena's
to,
home.
I have to do my fatherly duty and feed it, do dog stuff.
I don't think you are a child of divorce. You're like the dad that just left your kid.
on the weekends. So I'm a deadbeat dad on the weekends. All right, but guess what? That's anti time, and they love it. It's
Ahorita
anti
vengo, sí,
time.
now.
Yeah, no,
I'm just gonna go get you some food.
stalker
Sure.
vibes. But yeah, no, it's a great place. But no, it's so in the weekdays I'm here, just because it's closer to work. And
Weekdays, you're a South Bay guy. Weekends, East County, baby.
darn
Arre,
tune.
arre.
Let me tell you right now, some of the items at the Santee Costco you will not find, and Chula Vista Costco. Great deals on rifle bags. So
Oh,
if ever you
shit.
need a rifle bag, it's
All right.
it's out at Costco.
We're gonna start moving on into our community segment, El Zarape de San Diego. We're gonna say goodbye to Abe for a little bit, then you'll join us after if you want. Goodbye, Abe. Thank you for being with us right now. Bye, Abe.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and bring it on back because we are, like I said, moving on to another segment that we have. Something that we do here is promote the community, and a part of the community that's been flourishing is in large part, and this is where I'll give credit to San Diego FC, because with coming here, the MLS, it just a rising tide lifts all boats. And some boats are being constructed because of said raising tide. Ultimately, I think that it's a great opportunity for everybody to come together with their own flavor and style of supporting and their own ways of getting involved in the city. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on a guest that's been on here before for our segment, El Zarape. And with that, we're going to go ahead and bring on our guest, Mr. Trevor Flores. Welcome on back. I'll just say firefighter extraordinaire in the South
Yes,
County.
sir.
A legitimate hero. Like, again, like I am humbled by your presence here.
Thank you, Trevor.
But thank you for your time, as your time is incredibly valuable to us. Welcome on back. How are you?
Oh, my pleasure. And now that Chiva doxed you, does that mean I'm not going to bump into you in the Chula Vista Walmart anymore?
So actually, and that's again, that's how this connection happened,
Yeah.
right? I bumped into him in the gentleman's section. I was like, "What's new in Hawaiian shirts at Walmart?" Nothing. There was nothing. I had already all of them. But I bumped into Trevor here and had a conversation. He recognized me, and I was again humble. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But no, that's actually my work Walmart.
Okay.
It's our work Walmart.
Yeah.
So you'll see us bump into us there, say hi. But
And
but
I was the one that was starstruck when I saw you because I'm like, wait a second, that's Tony Sanchez. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to say something. So anyhow, I appreciate all your accolades, but I was the one that time that was like, no way. I watch this guy all the time.
I'm so glad you did because I kid you not. As soon as he got into the car, he texted me. I get a text saying I'm at work, and he texts me, "Some guy just met me right now, Trevor.
some guy just met
Some
me.
guy, and he's a firefighter, and he watches the show, and blah blah blah." And I was like, wow, "That's so cool.
No,
That is so sick, man."
and then I drove 2 minutes back to the office, and then I told him, "Bro, did I tell you? Like this just happened." But again,
Wait.
thank you. Yes.
Oh, I was going to say, because you were speaking about shirts and you guys have not yet promoted your shirt, which has gone on sale. And I placed my order already.
Thanks so
And
much.
so
Appreciate that.
I am going to promote it for you. So anybody that hasn't gone and got their San Diego Punto football shirt, get on there and get it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Trevor. Yeah, you can definitely pre-sale our pre-sales up for our first ever shirt that we're selling. And again, all that helps us with keeping this home for Xena.
So no, like legitimately, I mean, if we're gonna be real about it, Trevor, I thank you. I do appreciate that, but like legitimate, like this is the internet is gonna get paid for through this. The lights, the bills,
The
like
beautiful platform of StreamYard where we
hey, like
show our streams
I
is gonna get paid.
don't live here, so why am I still paying the electricity bill that
Yeah.
high? Like it's only that. Like it's fine. It's been working out. We've been doing it for 4 years. It's gonna help us out. But Trevor, again, we are here because you are getting involved through SDFC, through all this commotion that's happening in the soccer world. you and your family have been involved in the soccer community throughout, and that's kind of again that conversation that we had over at Walmart that time. How this is bringing about just a brand new breath of life into the soccer verse, and you're part of the Chrome Ball tour. You had a team there. Your son was also there. You guys had a great time. Saw you there with my partner Desiree, and now you had an exciting opportunity to link up with some leaders in the space here in San Diego in soccer. I see you wearing the shirt, the Street Soccer USA shirt. So what's going on here with your involvement in the community with soccer?
Yeah. And sometime you're gonna have to tell me how exactly I got here, because I know you and Ryan were the ones that were kind of Ryan Young, who's just an amazing individual,
Shout
also a veteran. But yeah, that you guys somehow linked all the right entities and people. But long story short, actually, no, I'm going to give you the coolest version, um, which is kind of where it all ended. Which at the VFW post 7420, right there, a block away from Chicano Park. One of the higher ups there, his name is Angel Garcia. He's also a member of USG18. And for those of you that don't know, USG18 is the Uniform Supporters Group for San Diego FC. And it's made up of veterans, first responders, military, and people that support them. You don't have to be a veteran or first responder. If you feel like that's your sort of crowd, then um, that's a great group to be a part of. But um, we were there, and it was me, Angel, who I just mentioned, Reed Fox, who you guys have also had on the show from Street Soccer USA, who's now leading up Street Soccer San Diego, and another guy, Andrew Greer, who's a veteran who was in Sacramento, was involved with their street soccer up there and had kind of the initial ideas of putting together a veteran soccer team. So we're there in the VFW, right there in Barrio Logan, and we were planning basically the first ever veterans soccer team that we know of in the U.S. And so, what better place than San Diego? Reed Fox and Andrew really had the vision for it. I'm not a veteran myself. I'm a first responder, as you mentioned, and just connected with a lot of veterans. I play in a lot of different soccer leagues and just kind of plugged into the community. So, so that was kind of surreal sitting there and having that meeting and realizing like, wow, what a perfect place and a perfect group of people to be making these final arrangements. So, fast forward to the end. Next Monday, November 4th, is going to be the very first practice for the very first veteran soccer team. And it's going to be right there on base at Miramar under the lights on their turf field. We've got 20 individuals signed up right now, but we'd love to have more. And really, the numbers are unlimited. If we put together more than one team, like Reed is a guy that has amazing vision and seems to have an unlimited supply of resources. And just to be clear, the programs that Street Soccer USA and Street Soccer San Diego do are completely free for the athletes. So they don't pay for uniforms, they don't pay for club fees, they don't pay for coaching fees. If there's travel, they don't pay for that. And so it's a great way to support our veterans community.
Yeah, it's a great cause, and really it's amazing to be able to even have a part in this, even if it's just linking these great, just people that want to go ahead and do something positive through the vessel of soccer, and utilizing it as a tool to bring about. I mean, I know you mentioned you're not a veteran yourself. You're a first responder. So in a tournament, I mean, who would win? Firefighters versus armed service? Like I mean, firefighters have the stamina. I think that the strength, but I mean, some of those armed service veterans are also intense in defense. I would assume. Just speaking of defense, the best defense is the best offense, and vice versa. Have you ever faced any tournaments like that?
Didn't San Diego Loyal put on a game like that? It was, I think,
They
what
did
was it?
have,
The fire department, it's the police department, was it?
I believe so.
Yeah, they did do one game like that. We have our own San Diego firefighter Olympic team made up of all the different firefighters throughout the county, and a bunch of those guys participated in that loyal thing. It was, it was a friendly. The irony of it all is, out of the 20 veterans that are on this team, half of them are either currently firefighters or police officers. So um, it's almost like you'd be playing your twin if we were playing against a pure veterans group, because when they get out of the military, they tend to end up going into the first responder type of workforce. So yeah, the group of people. But the whole thing with Street Soccer San Diego and Street Soccer USA is their mantra is strengthening a community through soccer. So they don't even care about the skill level, or they don't have any ambitions to go out and be world beaters. They really are trying to just create a space for the different entities that they serve, whether it's refugee populations, or homeless, or kids that are just priced out of club soccer. So right now, like, this is the first time they're attempting to do one with the veteran community, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're going to bring in all kinds of people. Some of the people that are signing up are like, "Hey, I haven't played in 20 years," and they're like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just show up. That's what this space is for."
And
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
it's incredible. Like, I think of me just playing for the first time a couple days ago, or yesterday, days ago, geez. But I'm exhausted. I can't imagine, like what is it like? Why do you guys choose more exercise when your day-to-day job is as grueling as it gets? Like, the preparation, the training, like, is that just a different avenue? Is that just like for the love of the game? Like, that's just a mode of exercise to stay fit in your experience as a firefighter, first responder? Like, because again, a lot of the community loves soccer. Like, traditionally, I mean, movies in the 80s, it's always volleyball. You got Top Gun and everybody's over here. Like, no, soccer's a huge in the first responder area. But like, what is it about soccer that just kind of gets you and some of your comrades?
I think it's just the personality type. We actually joke about exactly what you're saying. Like, we go to work, we get ourselves beat up. We're, like you said, trying to stay in shape, do all that stuff. And then on our days off, we're going onto a soccer field. Like, I played a pickup game in off Skyline on Sunday. I played in my La Mesa League on Saturday. I'm super sore today. And it's like, why do I do this to myself? But I think we just can't get away from the camaraderie and being around people. Get a little competition in, of course, but there's just something about football, soccer that brings people together in every way, shape, or form. I mean, you guys, that's the whole reason why your show exists. I mean, it's always beyond the game, right? It's always there's some other story behind it, something else. So yeah, I think that's really it. Like, I'm not going to be knitting or anything like that. I'm an avid reader, but like, nothing better than being on this, soccer field with a bunch of friends.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I see behind you, obviously you got the SDFC flag behind you. How excited are you? You mentioning once again that you're part of the supporter group, the US 18, USG 18 supporter group, part of the San Diego Union that's moving in the direction of becoming officially recognized. But you're excited. These obviously, like, that's kind of like the question. Like, are you excited? Yes, but that's been the recurring answer and the recurring question. Are there emotions or something else that's kind of intriguing you? Are you like at all worried that 6 players have been signed and everything's kind of to the expansion draft? Like, are you in that mindset where, like, it's months away from now? The beginning, you're going to be in Snapdragon cheering on the San Diego FC side in really think about it, weeks. But what's kind of your emotions going through it as a San Diego fan?
Yeah, I think the best way to answer that is talking a little bit about the experience with US G18. Because at first, when San Diego FC was coming, I was kind of like you, Tony. Like, I don't care about community stuff. I don't care about them getting in. I just want a winning team. Just bring in a winning team, and everything else will follow. And then joined USG 18. I've actually had the opportunity to meet at a deeper level a few other people from the club, on some of their other community impact initiatives that they're slowly working on. And I realize, holy smokes, like they want to do it all. They do want to put a winning team on, but they also want to do a lot of community stuff as well, and in a very genuine way, which um, I found surprising and refreshing for an organization that big. So, just as an example, so USG 18, really, they're the reason why we were able to put a veteran soccer team together in basically a week. I met with Reed on a Wednesday night. The very next night, the president of USG 18, Brian Enriquez, who I would have never known otherwise if it wasn't because USG 18 was put together for San Diego FC, he was doing his reenlistment ceremony. And afterwards, and our headquarters is El Cid Bar in North Park, give them a little plug. That's where he did his reenlistment ceremony. And right after I pulled the guys together, I go, hey, look, I just met this guy, Reed Fox. He wants to put together a veteran soccer team. I need help. And that was when we just started talking, taking action. And within a week, we had a roster of 15 people. And actually, another one of our USG 18 members, Felix Vela, he's one of our younger members. He is now one of the coaches for Street Soccer San Diego. He's taken over a group of U16 there in City Heights who were just playing pickup in the park and had nobody to coach them. They had no money to enter anything. And now they play in a league every Sunday. They've got their practices on, I think it's either Tuesday or Wednesday nights. And it's like, none of that, I believe, would have happened had it not been for San Diego FC coming and being able to start building these relationships and partnerships. So I kind of really trust the process. I think it's exciting that they have a really young head coach who surprised me. But then after hearing him speak, like, all right, this is not what I was expecting, but I like what I'm hearing. Tyler Heap, same thing. I had the opportunity to go to the event that they had at their headquarters and get to meet and listen to him speak in person. And even the player signing, even the ones that you've been mentioning, it's like, I don't know. I'm watching the MLS playoffs and I'm thinking, man, San Diego FC is already putting together a roster that feels like it's going to be competitive. So I don't know. Every move that they make and everything they do tells me that they're not just here to participate. I'm not saying they're going to, pull a Golden Knights or Cholos and win the first season, but I'm not getting any vibe from them or anybody in the front office when I talk to them that says, "Oh no, we're here just to be competitive." I really think they're got bigger ambitions. So trust in the process, but I am hanging on every rumor that comes out too, just like everybody else.
No, I love it. And again, it's this kind of position where like everybody's in a holding pattern to see what's next on a football side. But Chrome Ball tours are happening. They're coming to a close. Actually, they're almost to the 18th city and the 18th stop. But I like kind of checking in on that pulse where where everybody's feeling. And at the end of the day, you are going to be part of the diehard support that's going to be there in Snapdragon defending against St. Louis City and their supporter groups, or 3252, whoever comes in. The representation going up for the first ever game. Are you going to be able to make it up to Carson for the LA Galaxy first ever match?
Yeah, I think so. That's definitely in the plans for the family, is to try and make it up there if we can, for sure. If not, we've already solidified our a couple of season tickets, and then the rest of our tickets will be in the supporter section. So yeah, definitely the whole Flores family will be there for opening day here in San Diego. But I mean, I've been, and you and me, Tony, talked about this. I've been San Diego my whole life, and like when Chivas went to LA instead of San Diego, that felt like a lost opportunity. When the San Diego Soccer City thing fell through, it felt like, well, maybe that was the last opportunity. When Loyal hit COVID, and it's just like, well, that's the last opportunity. So once we finally got the MLS team, it was like, hey, I'm all in no matter what. But the more and more that I see what they're doing with the supporters groups, the more I see what they're doing. And San Diego FC is also doing a lot of stuff real quietly in the community, and not they could be splashing some of the stuff they're doing all over the place, and they don't. And there's a lot of respect behind that too, just some of the support that they're giving in other places. And the supporters groups, I mean, that's just been fun to watch it build from the ground up. There's hiccups along the way, of course, but there's good people in charge of it. Real proud of our supporters group. There's no other, veteran supporters group, first responder supporters group that I'm aware of anywhere else. So, yeah, this has just been a phenomenal year with a lot of exciting things. But you're right. I mean, right now it's all potential. But what's it really gonna round out? What other hiccups are there gonna be? I don't know, but that's all part of the beautiful game, right? I mean, look at Barcelona, like, they were in bankruptcy and about to fold, and then they just crushed Real Madrid over the weekend, and it's like, wow. So, I don't know. I'm here for the ups and downs.
Yeah, and again, I think that's
with
that
homegrown talent too. So
with homeroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Good
a
point.
academy
promise.
based player. So you never know what can happen.
Again, congratulations to everybody who has been working in the community, with the community, and the community itself, for coming out in support as well. And again, credit where credit is due. We can be as critical for a lot of aspects, but that's one where, in knowing some of the individuals that you're referring to, just again, this is a company, but there's people working in the company for sure. I do believe that, in the greater good will come by. USG will be very unique and special for our supporter section. Jeremy, I could not agree. We already
100%.
talked about De Bruyne. De Bruyne, does that ring any, like, has that kind of get you excited, or just kind of like, at this point, like, just give me what I have, or
I can't help it. I wanna be so measured and be like, "Okay, well, let's wait till we see," but then start hearing rumors and you start seeing little things like, "Man, this might get legs." I was surprised when Chucky Lozano was landed, like, when I
yeah.
first heard that name too, it was like, "Oh, that would be the perfect signing," but
Mhm.
that's never gonna happen, and then it happened, so, yeah, I mean, I
Wrong.
De Bruyne would be amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not wrong there. A lot of people didn't think it was gonna happen, and it happened.
And
So
yeah,
could same thing could happen. Edwin, that's the first I hear about Carrasquilla to SDFC. Carrasquilla, if you don't, I'm not sure. Panamanian starlet, plays for Houston Dynamo. Uh, Named CONCACAF Best
player
Player
of
of
the year.
2024.
Yeah.
So I believe he's only like
Just
22, 23 years
Edward's
old.
coming in
So
hot with Paul Pogba,
Paul Pogba is a free agent.
De Bruyne. Have there been conversations with Paul Pogba? Perhaps, but
Free agent, free signing.
nothing
He said, "I'm
of
making that rumor up."
substance.
Hey,
Nothing
that
of
rumor could hit, Edwin. That rumor can hit.
it could hit.
I'll throw Mo Salah out there.
Yes.
Egyptian connection, and
Yeah,
man,
it's been a big
another
shout.
one that would be amazing.
No, 100%. And I think, I mean, if we go back, and I'll find it right now, but like, that's one of, in the announcement that SDFC was a team, like, yes, after I spoke with Don, I spoke to Don Garber. I spoke with Mr. Mansour, Mohammed Mansour, about, potential signings. And like, a last throwaway question was like, just saying, hey, like, Mo Salah? And he didn't say no. Like, that was not the response that he gave. Like, he could have very well said, "Oh no, like, that's not what we're heading to," and no, that's not why I think. Nope, it was not a no. So who knows? At this point, Mo Salah would be great. But San Diego will be there. That's
Yeah.
guaranteed. Who's going to be there? Trevor. Once again, a great cause here. Free military and veterans soccer program. Monday, 11/4. That's November 4th, from 7 to 8:30 at MCS AS Miramar Sports Complex, Turf Field. Contact Reed at streetsoccerusa.org. You can find that at Street Soccer USA. Street Soccer SD. That's Street Soccer SD on Instagram, for more information on them. And also, don't forget, be a friend, tell a friend. The USG 18 supporter group, part of the union, that's postulating to be the officially recognized union for SDFC, is also available. Get to meet great people like Trevor and company. So it's part of a fabric that's going to be going into Snapdragon. Trevor, is there anything else that we're missing for today?
No, that was the last thing I was going to do, is tell people how to get a hold of Reed, or I mean, you can DM me on Instagram as well. But yeah, the more the merrier. Any experience level. Again, it's not about putting together a team; it's about putting together a community. So, any veterans out there, or active duty that would like to be a part, like, please reach out. The worst you can do is show up and say this isn't for me. But we'd like to grow this community as big as possible in this soccer team. So
Love it. Let's
love
grow
that.
San Diego. San Diego is the community. So again, Trevor, thank you for your time. I love it when
thank
you come
you
on.
guys.
Let's make it happen again. So
Thank you,
keep
Trevor.
an eye out there for things in the community. And again, this has been our community segment. El Zarape de San Diego. Trevor, have a good night. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Trevor Flores, a real life hero. Like again, like there's a level of respect I have for first responders. It's difficult. I mean, my dad was a cop, DJ, once upon a time. Um, that raises alarms for a lot of people. Like, what cop? Like, all right, he was honest about it. He was honest about his doings and said, you know what? Sometimes, yeah, if a guy offers you a $50 bill in the 90s, like, and it feeds a family, but nothing too bad at all. I can guarantee that. My mom gave him the choice of it's either you want police or you want the kid, and he chose kid. So he stopped being a policeman and started working at a fruit company here in the United States.
Biggest downgrade ever. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I mean, no, it's pretty good. Coast Citrus, it's still going. You can find Coast Citrus trucks around town.
And happy Halloween, everyone! If you celebrate that, this is our Halloween episode. As Tony's going to be showing us the clip he was talking about with Trevor, talking to Mr. Mansour. You also talked to Manny Machado, Don Garber, and Tom Penn. But you said you asked Mansour, "Hey, Mo Salah?"
Yeah, so it was towards the end. We had spoken to Cody Martinez, spoke to Manny Machado, and then got Mr. Mansour. Got some questions in at the end for him, and he was about to leave. Like everybody had given the all right, and I didn't actually get to ask the question that I wanted.
This wasn't first question Tony back
then.
It
was not.
First question Tony came after.
This
is where they knew who first question Tony was.
This is when they find out. Do you know who you're talking to, Mr. Mansour? It's just a question right here. Where is it? Boom, boom, boom.
Thank you, gents. Thank you very much.
Mo Salah to San Diego?
Would be a good choice.
Good choice. Sounds good.
Great guy. When some of the people of Right to Dream went to Egypt, when we decided, when we bought Right to Dream in 2019, and there was a Right to Dream in Sub-Saharan Africa, and there was a Right to Dream in Denmark, I said there has to be a Right to Dream in Egypt. And when they went and looked, they said, Mohammed, we'll see 100 Muslims. So we already have kids in Right to Dream. One is called Maradona, and the other one is called Messi. And they're aged 10 and 12, and they will be great players. So we have, and when we did the first, what was it, scouting, we have people, tryouts. You know how many came out? Take a guess.
1,000.
65,000. But we did it around the communities, and we have today two classes. The first classes, I think, here it's going to be the same. You'll have amazing players coming up from this area and from the surrounding.
If you ever need a goalkeeper, I'm here.
Oh, no, vales madre, Tony, no mames, güey. Te dijiste a un millonario. Si ocupas portero, aquí estoy, güey.
No.
Y le valió ver.
I sold out.
Le valió
That's
madre.
insane.
Le
If he
dijiste
requires,
al señor
if
Mansour.
the city, listen, if the city of San Diego, if aliens descended upon the earth and said, Snapdragon, I need the best 11. And it lands in an unfortunate place, but players are unavailable to make it. But I'm already at Snapdragon. Mr. Mansour, if you need a goalkeeper for the fate of San Diego,
That's the cringiest thing
I
you've
will
ever
go
said.
ahead.
You did
and
that in
About
the
the
mix zone.
least
I will go
professional
ahead
thing
and
you've
do it
ever
for you.
done in a press
No,
conference. This is worse
it
than
was
not
over.
even saying your
The
name.
press conference was over.
and
It was
your-
done for. It was done for.
outlet. This is just by far the most unprofessional thing you have
No,
ever done.
look,
as
no,
a
Esteban
media
agrees.
person.
Johnny, that was amazing. That was, and see, this is the part where that we're different. Like we are bold in what we believe in. The philosophy of soccer is at the end of the
the
day,
most the most unprofessional, right?
if I need to save a life because of my goalkeeping, I will have to set that aside. And at that point, you know, I put the pen,
What's
I put
next?
it down.
What's
I
next?
put it the vest comes down, like it gets retired. Like obviously it gets retired. Like it's done for. Like
the way
this is
makes
now.
it sound is like
No, that's how you're making it sound.
we're in a mix zone or whatever with Chucky Lozano press
That's how you
conference.
made
It's
it
like
sound.
Chucky
Not me.
Lozano scores a penalty and you tell him, I would have blocked that.
I probably could have. I probably would have. But I mean, why would I
Oh my
why would I say that if it's a positive? And now you're just being a downer, Shiva. Like I don't
Only
think
a
you understand the
goalkeeper.
flow here.
Only
Only a
a
goalkeeper
could
could say something
that
like
to a
this.
billionaire, the owner of San Diego FC. Oh
But
my
again, as you
gosh,
saw, that was a
Tony.
throwaway question. A throwaway, just
And this was over a
a-
year ago and he was still chubby, Abe. This is a whole different man now. This is a better goalkeeper now.
actually,
Like
yeah.
the level of confidence.
Actually, oh, you give me a yellow card, Abe? Oh, what's
A
going on
yellow
here?
card.
Whoa, no way. Second yellow card.
No,
because
that was
he
just one
red
yellow.
card.
Starburst, you get a yellow
Oh,
Starburst.
he doesn't have a red one. Oh,
no red
boo.
Starburst.
He doesn't have it.
No
What
red
is this? Amateur hour? Oh,
Starburst.
come on. First, I mean, I asked Mr. Mansour.
Cómetelo.
I asked a billionaire a real life question. Like this is
Sure did.
This is a real life, real situation question about Mr. Mansour bringing Mr. Salah over. But it was a good answer where he kind of switched it and really put Right to Dream over, to be honest. You know, he said, you know, it'd be good to get Mo Salah, like it'd be great. When they were establishing the Right to Dream Academy over in Egypt, so he was saying like there was a lot of interest, 65,000, you know,
On there,
people came out.
6,500.
But I mean, you can definitely inflate just that number in a way where it's like, yeah, you saw this amount of kids. Just like here locally, there was those tryouts in Tijuana and San Diego. Yeah, they tried out. The opportunity was there, but you already had set aside 50 before any of the open tryouts. 50 of the number one talent, the top talent in San Diego already the week before the tryouts. You had already set them aside, and then you open it up to a couple of thousand. But in opening it up, it's like, well, you know, thousands signed up, went, but they were never going to go ahead and have that chance. But 65,000 is crazy, but that's what you get.
My
Yes.
favorite part of that video was Tom Penn taking a picture in the background.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys
so-
saw that.
That
That was before he knew
love
who
that.
Tony was, too.
Was it? Let me see if I can.
This happens a lot, honestly, in like mix zones or whenever you're dealing with an interview. Like the press officer, someone will take a picture. I never know what to do. Like, am I supposed to smile? It's awkward. Like, he looks like a proud parent just in the background.
A little again self-absorption here by Tony. Again, I'm sorry, but I'm not. This is how I entertain myself. Whenever there's a security camera, or I notice that I'm on camera with somebody else that I'm not supposed to, like just I'm supposed to be an NPC, I always look and I wink. Security camera, even if it's not working, I wink. Because the one day there's some security guy just like sitting eating his nachos, his lunch, and just like he just looks at me and just sees me wink like it's gonna weird him out. And just the possibility that might happen just brings joy to my life. So I know for a fact I saw this happen as it was happening, and I winked at that camera. So in theory, somewhere out there, I am in Tom Penn's phone, winking.
Yeah.
And I think that started a wonderful.
He looks
kind of
like
trend.
those tias that go on Facebook Live and have 0 viewers on the live stream.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like.
I love it. But yeah, again, this was a year ago. Over a year ago. And then he was like, "All right, is somebody gonna take my picture behind?"
Nope.
No, yeah,
But yeah,
it's fine.
San Diego FC starting up. It's getting closer. It's getting more real and more real. But another team that's ending their season
Oh no.
is the San Diego Wave, and we'll touch a little bit on it because we still have another week in between.
Well, let me
last
use
game.
it because like it's
Go
gonna
ahead,
be
go ahead.
one of the
Bring
last
on the
times.
San Diego
It's gonna
Wave
be the last
segment.
time. Kristen McNabb signing 2-year extension.
Christian McNabb,
Um,
another 2 years, another player that's been a key factor for San Diego Wave, starting out at the 6th position, then moving to left back, then moving to center back. A player that's done it all for San Diego Wave, extends for 2 years. Are you guys happy about this?
I mean, we joke, Abe, in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways we shouldn't. Not because whatever, but like Kristen McNabb's play this year has been probably one of the highlights of the team. I mean, one of the few highlights. She
Oh.
surprised us. No, I mean, don't make that face because that's the
Okay.
reality of San Diego Wave season. You can't say, no, like there was goals, there were gaffes, and there were great moments by Kristen McNabb. A game with
That's
2 goals, an own goal, and a goal for your team. Like
Yeah, no, I
amazing
mean,
stuff. But she's been a constant for the squad this season, so that's going to be extended here. So San Diego Wave play their final home match of the year. CONCACAF is done and over with. NWSL is pretty much done and over with, except just the final exercises at Snapdragon Stadium. Abe, what are your thoughts kind of going into this final weekend of San Diego Wave?
I think it's exciting. You have the chance to possibly play for last place. Like if Houston wins, you kind of have to win this game this weekend, which would be a huge milestone, I think. If you go from literally the top of the table to last place, would just completely cement the utter failure of a season. So I think it's a exciting chance, exciting game. We could see some interesting stuff from Taylor Flynn. I mean, Racing Louisville, if BFC lose, Racing Louisville will be playing for that last playoff spot. I think. So this is going to be, as long as results hold from other games, it could be a really interesting game. Or it could be a game that has zero significance.
Yeah, no, and that's again a culminating moment for San Diego Wave this season would be to lose this game. And like I don't even know if Landon shows up for the press conference that day. I don't even know if everybody just kind of says,
I mean, this
Let's
could
go home.
this could potentially be San Diego Wave's last game for Landon Donovan. Landon Donovan's last game with Wave.
it may, just like it may not.
It may not. It may.
and
We
that's
still don't know. Talks have been had between Landon
Yes,
and
correct.
Joe Ellis. That's what he told us, but we don't know. I think we all have the feeling that he wants to stay, right? I think he's enjoying being the head coach. I think he feels the change that he's implementing. But if you're San Diego Wave, you're thinking, wow, this was by far the worst season. Let's bring someone that can fix this mess, that knows the women's game.
this is a broken team, like from top to bottom, broken team in terms of just not being able to get it done. I will say
It's broken
that
within
I-
the field
that
and
I-
within the front office too.
that I that I kind of admire is the professionalism of the players because they have not stopped. They have not given up, even though sometimes they have. And it's understandable because just the frustration of the season, the frustration of what it's been like to be at Snapdragon. And I think go back to this moment in the last CONCACAF W Championship Cup game with Kaylin Sheridan getting that red card. Like that was the moment where it's like, okay, there's no hope. Like that's it. Like you had a 0.1% to maybe turn this around and tie this game and maybe move into the next round of this tournament and maybe say, hey, we made it to playoffs at least. Nope. You played the best that you could in this tournament and you get booted out in the last day, in the last moment. And
I mean, every
it
worst
starts-
possible scenario has happened to San Diego Wave. this
It's a
season.
piano falling down a set of stairs. Like it's just noisy. It's
And it
just
happens.
loud. It's just dramatic.
It
Like,
happens to
it's
the best
terrible.
teams. It really does happen to the best team. I mean, we just seen Barcelona going in a slump and then all of a sudden looking like the best team in the world right now, right? So, I mean, some teams eventually go on a slump and have a couple bad seasons, and eventually you find that one season that you come back. And I think San Diego's just waiting for any team to have that one season where they become champions, where they kind of rule it all, and then it's a success story all around. But this was by far the most embarrassing season in Waves history, saddest season in Waves history. And I think this last game is just a chance to say thank you to the fans that have been supporting you, even though it's been such a crappy year.
What do you think, Abe?
I think that's a good way to describe this game. There's 16 players that are going to be officially extended through this next season. Like, how many players? There's like what, 26 players on the roster. How many do you expect to return beyond those 16?
Not too many.
It's going to be really depending on what that coaching staff looks like.
That's true.
If Landon Donovan was to stay, I can definitely tell you that he is going to need help in the assistant coach side of things. He's going to have to build a team, or just bring somebody that's going to know how to really do the mechanics of his style, because it's difficult to come in and be told, hey, implement this style, this San Diego Loyal style, implement it. Assistant coaches, do it. When to begin with, it's very radical just fundamentally, it's a radical play style that sure you see different teams implement in different ways. Even, there was a write-up where Manchester City plays in a certain style under Pep Guardiola last year, just kind of a similar shape. The utilization of the goalkeepers as almost the 11th attacker. That's the beginning of the attack, but we've seen Sheridan get burned that way. But it's really going to depend on that. It's tough to see like Maroni and Cascarino just kind of coming in and realize, what do we get ourselves into? Like, what's going on here?
I think they're two of the players that end up staying. I mean, they just joined.
No,
the team.
100%.
I think they stay for sure.
All right, here's a name. Daniel Colaprico.
I think she's
an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season.
I think they might get extended. It would be smart to get her unless you just go out for another midfielder. I think if Landon Donovan stays, Colaprico also stays. If it's a different coach, I think Colaprico ends up seeing a new club.
Interesting.
Amira Ali, Elise Bennett, Kira Carusa.
I think this is Elise Bennett's last season with Wave, and Amira Ali's last season with Wave as well.
I would agree with that. I very much agree with that. Elise Bennett. I've heard sources.
I'll give you another name that
I've heard sources that is confirmed.
And Savannah McCaskill also stays. Just under contract, right? I think it was a 2-year deal for Savannah McCaskill, so she stays as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I think Melanie Barcena stays. Jaden Shaw stays. I think the fullbacks you just got Caitlin Torpy and Lunsvig also stay.
It's a very solid team. Here's the issue. Like, it's a very
out. I think Van Ekman is out next season.
Mm-hmm.
She played the most minutes. She's second highest in minutes played. That
doesn't mean you were a great player. Kennedy Wesley stays.
Your season-long disdain for Emily Van Egmond is admirable. Just the consistency.
Hey,
that's just like the level of consistency.
I did it to Dahlkemper and Alex Morgan, and they're not with Wave anymore.
Oh, you're taking credit for that. All right.
So now Girma stays and earns the captain armband unless she goes to Europe. But Caitlin Sheridan,
she could probably get nominated for a Ballon d'Or.
Most likely could win it as well.
Hey, San Diego connection. Tyler Heaps, sporting director, GM essentially for San Diego FC. The first. What is it? What is that even title called? Fiance of Lindsay Horan, number 5, Ballon d'Or. For the women, number 5.
That's insane.
So.
I can see Lindsay Horan eventually going to San Diego Wave.
Is Lindsay Horan the 5th best player on the U.S. women's national team this year?
According to those rankings, she was the best.
Are you Tyler Heaps asking me right now?
No, I'm okay.
Because I think he would say no.
Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, Mallory
Germa.
Swanson, Naomi Germa,
Yeah, I
Lindsey
agree.
Horan.
Yeah,
Lindsey Horan,
Yeah.
Alyssa Nair maybe over
Oh,
Lindsey
Lindsey
Horan.
Horan.
I mean,
Who else? I mean, come on.
I mean, and
Come
then
on.
you have players as well, right? I mean, just going over the international players that Wave has, like Jaden Shaw scored with the U.S. Women's National Team, and it's been a while since we've seen Jaden Shaw getting on the score sheet as well. And then you have the youngsters,
Mhm.
Barcenas and Ascanio, scoring goals in the Under-17 World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have talent, you have a future with these players for San Diego Wave. You have Caruso, who's a San Diego native,
Mhm.
scoring a crazy goal for Ireland. Like, these are players that you kind of want to keep that are still playing in great form. I mean, you see them scoring goals right now, and if they're not doing it for Wave, there's a reason, because the players around them, it's not working out.
The system's not working.
So
This team is there's no joy coming to train. There's no reason. There's no as Shawn Michaels, a Heartbreak Kid, once said, they just lost their smile. They lost their smile this season.
it just feels like for a lot of players right now, and I mean, I don't blame them. It literally feels like work. Like,
Yeah,
who wants
like
to
clock
go
in,
to
clock
work?
out.
Like, oh man, I have to go to work.
Clock
Damn
in,
it.
clock out.
Can't wait till the season's over to go on vacation and just shake off this bad juju.
Yeah, and again, just in kind of keeping an ear to the ground as well. Like, if what happens off the field does affect the players as well. Like, they're real human beings, and that's the part about being that's the part about being a team that's kind of takes the thoughts of the players, and just everything's kind of very interconnected, and the supporter groups are interconnected, and if something is
when this stuff that happens off the field with front office and lawsuits and all that as a player, it takes a toll. And I think that's exactly what you're trying to say, right? Like, I mean, we saw Alex Morgan making a post about it when the first kind of like allegation and accusations came out. And when you're a player and you're hearing all this, that your front office is essentially getting sued for all this stuff, it's not a good feeling. I'm assuming as a player, I would think, damn, I work in a crappy place.
Just to give some perspective, right? Like the number of the size of the operation here. San Diego Loyal operated with, say, a handful of maybe 20 to 30 individuals in the front office, even 30s on the very high end.
Yeah.
Speaking of front office size, San Diego FC looking to wait, te voy a quitar, güey. San Diego FC is requiring, in order to have a full team, over 120 front office employees. San Diego Wave is operating at 40. So the grapevine isn't that big, where real life emotions and real life things that happen can affect the players who are connected in a certain way. So, and as reports just keep coming out, I know this earlier this weekend too, surrounding Jill Ellis and just her involvement with the equal pay, as ESPN reported, like that was this is a cycle that's kind of keep going, and it's very much, it feels adjacent to the just general feeling of, oh wow, I didn't think I was going this way, the country in just early November elections. Like, it's just like the vitriol is very familiar to that, and the greater good, I hope, is what ends up happening. Abe, this is a very difficult conversation. You made your thoughts known through San Diego Punto Football, and just kind of directed our listeners or viewers through your article for the lawsuits and everything that was happening a couple of weeks ago. So I mean, I think it's just a very somber, just kind of realization for everybody. Like, yeah, this is the last of a shitty season for San Diego Wave.
Yeah, it's been just bad all around, and I generally agree with Shiva. The off the field stuff seems to have had an impact on the players, because there, to me, is no other explanation for how this team went from the best in the league to near dead last. Like it's just it's crazy to have this kind of drop off, and so much of this stuff off the field, switching coaches. It's crazy.
Fix your front office, and maybe the on-field problems go away too. So, just an idea. Come on, San Diego. Well,
In any case, we'll see. We'll be there at Snapdragon Stadium, the final home match. And then we'll try to get as much content as we can and then see what the offseason brings. And with that, obviously, contracts and the availability of players and just anything just kind of ceases there outside of official Wave capacity. We do have avenues to catch up with some of the players offseason in various channels in different ways. So that may be an avenue that we explore, looking to just kind of, like Kaylin Sheridan. She'll stay around town. She has a couple of ventures here locally, and so we'll try to tap into those as we go. Edwin, it's all good.
Tranquilo.
America. How about that? How about this?
America, get it? 'Cause
Oh, shit. I fell into it. I fell into his trap. I fell into it. Edwin is asking Trump or Harris, and I say America, and he's an America supporter. And wow, that worked. Did you like the last game fan appreciation giveaway? I mean, it's nice. It's a baseball.
It looks
it's a
pretty
baseball
dope.
shirt.
Abe,
yeah,
I
I'll
do
give
want
you
us to
that.
get the early.
No,
to
you
get
can't.
one. Yeah,
No, you can't do
we
that.
can get there early. You can get one.
I'm
refrain.
getting one.
Man of honor.
I don't care.
And and this means nothing to no one. But for what it's worth, I'm okay with sporting giveaways and wave jersey and waves type jerseys of other sports. Because I'll be honest, I was bribed. I was intended.
You sold out.
No, I was asked to be bribed with a basketball San Diego Wave jersey for an involvement and information that would lead and help no one. And I declined. You would be proud, Abe. I actually said no. Like we don't need this. Like we're fine. I don't want the basketball jersey that bad. Quid pro quo situation. Chavo del Ocho. All right. Chabolín Colorado.
Gentlemen,
love that. But with that,
yeah, is there anything else San Diego Wave? I mean, game on Sunday. I think right after that we also have an Inter game, Tony. So it's gonna get booked up Sunday for us.
It's a jam packed. For we're going
2:30 p.m.
We're going, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
You've been avoiding going to Inter games. Say you're about the community. And
I'll be after the Wave game. Were we gonna do soccer? No, you guys have the Inter thing.
Yeah, we were planning on doing like a media outing to like Chili's or something. But
who said that?
Amor wanted all of us to hang out after. We can all hang out at Mission Bay High School.
Yeah. Again, here's my call. Hey, SD Independent supporter group and like these supporter groups, Dago boys and whoever San Diego FC wants to prop up and say, here, this is an independent supporter group that we have our hand firmly.
This game
firmly
first place, I believe, for San Diego Inter. So
firmly has up their behind and controlling. Yeah, no, very graphic, but that's the unfortunate nature of just two independent entities, one of which has their hands in a cookie jar that they shouldn't, and yapping through it. But it's fine. Hey, the people, go support San Diego Internacional, Mission Bay High School. They have San Diego in the name, so you can go ahead and practice over at Mission Bay High School.
Representing.
Check that out.
Cup. This is a league game, not an Open Cup game, but I mean, this team is representing in the Open Cup so far.
Yeah, see, good thing I wasn't bribed. No, 100%. It was a quid pro quo situation. It was a lose-lose situation, but a win-win situation is if you, my friends, and Abe, that includes you, are so inclined to, as we go ahead and close today's episode out of Two Balls and a Mic. That is not the new intro. It's this one. It's not new at all, but it's whatever. We do have a shirt available on San Diego.Football
/Cantina.
You should probably have that down there. San Diego.Football Cantina. You can go ahead and get the brand new pre-order that we have available. Being modeled here. Very, very. Where do we get these guys? This is great. Hey, that guy's a San Diego Punto Football fan. San Diego
He
Punto
is.
Football right there.
Definitely is. Again, our t-shirt
Hey,
pre-sale
that
is
hair,
now
though.
available. Check it out, our San Diego Punto Football /Cantina.
We got
pre-order.
sizes.
We do have sizes from extra small all the way to XXX.
Proceeds to go to contribute directly to the show. And again, we want to give Punk Rock Paint a great shout out here.
Yeah.
Our buddy Travis, Punk Rock Paint, shout out to him and everything that he does. An absolute power creative force here in the city of San Diego. With that said, Abe, you're the best. What can I say? What can I say that hasn't been said? Will you guys be at the Coronado Chrome Ball Tour? I'm going to try to make it out there, actually, because I
Is
heard
that
some good things.
Saturday?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think
I will be at wave training on Saturday.
I am hearing some stuff for the Coronado one that's going to make it very, very interesting. So check all that out. There is stuff happening in San Diego with soccer. This is San Diego Punto Football.
Stay safe, everyone. Happy Halloween. Go trick-or-treating. Take your little ones trick-or-treating if you have little ones, I guess. And pass out candy and have spooky vibes.
All right. Have a good one.
Later, everyone.
Bye.